Hello crafty viewers! In today's card we are going to be making this really textured, sparkly snowflake Christmas card. So sit back, have a favorite hot beverage, and enjoy the video. Alright, let's get started with today's card. So I have this beautiful snowflake paper, and this is from the Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper out of the August to December Stampin Up catalog, also known as the holiday catalog. And I am going to cut a strip of this down to 4 by 5.5 inches, and I will be right back. All right, here we go. I have a high piece, and I am going to mount this onto a piece of Night of Navy paper, and this is cut to 4 1/4 by 11 inches. It's scored at 5.5, and that's going to give us a nice top fold card. I'm just going to adhere this down with some of the new Stampin' Seal. This is the replacement for Snail. And I finally saw somebody on a video yesterday show the secret to getting this to work right. You tip it and pick it up, and that leaves a nice edge so it doesn't smear as you're rolling it. Now this has an 1/8 of an inch border on the left and the right, but I did cut it to be full length. There we go. Now, I also have a piece of Night of Navy paper, and this was cut to 1.5 by 4 inches, and then I ran it through the Snowflake embossing folder. That was also part of the Snowflake Splendor suite. And I ran it through, and then I'm going to use my punch to punch out a banner end on it. I'm going to align it so it just barely punches on the back. I don't want to have it all the way seated all the way down, because I do want to have the banner be a little bit longer than it would be if you pushed it all the way in. There we go. And I'm going to adhere this down too. Well, so much for my tip. Now I am going to adhere this onto the front of the card up at the top, and I'm going to bring it in about, not quite halfway. That's about halfway. There we go. This card is being cased out of the cards that were in the catalog, and I'm staying fairly true to this card. If you saw my other card, I kind of went off in my own direction and used it as inspiration, but this card is fairly true to what they had in the catalog. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out 3 snowflakes, and these snowflakes are out of the Snowflake Wishes bundle, and these are the So Many Snowflakes dies, and in there you get 8 different dies to cut out, 7 snowflake dies and 1 banner die. And I am going to run these through my die cut machine, and I will be right back. Okay, there we go. There are our snowflakes, and in the card that was in the catalog, they had the Night of Navy colored in with some Winkostella. I'm going to do both the Night of Navy as well as the white one. I thought that was really pretty. Adds just a little bit of sparkle. Now to adhere these together, I am going to use a glue dot or two. You might wonder why I didn't offset that. I studied the catalog picture very closely, and in that picture they actually did not offset the second layer. It's this layer that's actually offset from the legs of the snowflake. So for this one, I am going to roll it up because this center is really tiny. And the glue dots are really sticky. And this one I am going to offset. Now in the center of this, I am going to use one of the blue gems. And these are adhesive gems. They are absolutely stunning, and I'm going to use one of the small ones just to finish off the center. There is our beautiful snowflake. Now the next thing that I'm going to work on is the inside of the card before we go any further. And I am going to use the sentiment from the Snowflake Wishes for a Merry Christmas. And I'm going to stamp that in some Night of Navy ink, and this will go on the inside of the card. Why don't we adhere that before we go any further? So this is cut to 4 by 5 1/4, so I do have 1/8 of an inch reveal all around on the inside. The outside panel was cut at 5 1/2. The inside 5 1/4. So next thing we are going to work on is the sentiment for the outside, and this is where I diverge a little bit from what was in the catalog. And they just simply cut their paper into a square, and I am going to use this smallest of the frames, and these are the Ornate Layers dies, and I absolutely love them. And I think that the design in here just kind of looks like snow swirling around, or wind swirls. So I am going to take the May Your Season Sparkle stamp, and I'm going to stamp that here on a piece of Whisper White cardstock. And then I'm going to take this die and I'm going to cut this out. Alrighty, there we go. There is our beautiful sentiment and that swirly frame. I love that frame. So I am going to mount that up onto some dimensionals. I think that would look really nice, and I think we might need to add a little bit of sparkle to it too. So let's mount it up first, adhere it to the front of the card. I want to mount it so that there's enough room for our snowflake, and I still want to see the bottom of the banner. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit, just like that. This also needs a dimensional behind it. we might need a little bit of bling. Now, if you watched one of my other videos, you saw that I used these Whale of a Time sequins, and there are some really pretty blue sequins in here that are just perfect for snowflake cards. So let's take a couple of those and find spots that we're going to glue them down. And there we have our sparkly snowflake card. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want to recreate this project at home, I sure would appreciate it if you purchased your supplies through my online store. The link for that is down in the show notes below. Likewise, there are some additional videos for projects that I've made with items from the holiday catalog, and I sure would appreciate it if you would hit subscribe to be notified of future videos. Thank you. Have a fantastic day.